Hello everyone, it's me, Lipton once again. Before I start my video, I really want to thank each and every one of you for continuously supporting my channel. And I really had a good feedbacks from my previous videos, which I've uploaded just recently. And yeah, thank you so much. And like I've told you, today I'm going to share you some tips and strategy because I gone through those past 2 years question papers, and there are some particular topics you should focus. And we as a science students, it's very difficult for us to go through this general studies. So I'll be sharing some tips how to prepare and what are the topics you should focus on. So every one of us, we know, who are preparing for this geoscientist examination, know the syllabus. So for prelims you have to appear two papers, that is paper 1 and paper 2. And this paper 1, it consists of general studies, which carries 100 marks. And for paper 2 it's of paper geology, and that carries 300 marks. And both the paper 1 and 2, it duration of this examination is 2 hours. And so the total marks of this preliminary examination is 400 marks. This general studies, it's the UPSC has given 7 topics. The first one is the current affairs and international importance. The second one is history of India and Indian national movement. Third one is Indian and world geography. Fourth one is Indian polity and governance. And fifth one is economic and social development. And the sixth one is general science. And finally, it's general issues and environmental ecology. So those are the 7 topics where UPSC has given. So now let's dissect topic by topic given by this UPSC geoscientist syllabus. Firstly, let's discuss general science. Since every one of us studies science till class 12, I mean the basic general science, so everyone is aware of the basic concepts. So this UPSC exam, most of the questions, almost 10 to 15 questions, are asked from this general science. So you cannot leave this topic. And the question that they ask are really basic and up straight to the point. Like they ask what are the pH of blood, or like what are cartilage, or like the ask in sequence of the most reactive metals, or the ask about the sequence of our elementary canals. So we all the studies in class 11 and 12, and those are all basics. It's just that we have to brush up once again. So since every one of us are from science background, you won't find much difficult. So for this particular topic, for this science, you should go through basic like class 11, class 10, 11, 12 NCRT books. So if you go through that, then obviously whatever the question it comes, you can easily answer. Next, let's discuss about Indian and world geography. This is also another important subject where almost 15 to 20 questions are being asked from this particular topics. So you should also give more focus on this particular topics. And since this geography is a little bit related to geology, especially this physical geography, so you won't find it much difficult. So you don't have to leave this particular subject. One thing, you should be aware of all the boundaries of Indian states, like a particular state, how many state are being bounded. And then you should also know about the various rivers that are being draining in that particular state, or where it has been originated. And then another important thing is you should know about the basics of all the geomorphic features, like whether it be wind, glaciers, rivers, all those things you should be aware, because every year it comes 1 or 2 question comes from this geomorphic features. And also you should also focus on the various climatic conditions, various climate classification, weathers. And also you should also focus on the ocean circulations, oceanography parts. And also another important, when it comes to world geography, you should focus on like the largest producing country in the world, whether it be like rice, jute, sugarcane, like anything. You should know the largest producers of this particular country. Also you should also focus on remote sensing, because this is also another important topic. So you should not leave this particular topic, remote sensing, basic of remote sensing. And like I told you, this basic general science and this geography, it carries more marks, so you should focus more on this particular chapters. Next, let's discuss about environment and ecology. So this is also another interesting and not so hard topic. So here also, this particular topic also contain lot of marks, because what I've observed from the previous 2 years, almost 10 to 15 questions are also asked from this particular topics. So it's very important, this topic, and we all study these topics from since high school. So you just have to brush up this particular topic as well. And the question that they are usually asked are all basics, like biodiversity. They ask about the greenhouse effects, the various chemicals, the what are the effects of ozones and where it is, yeah, things like that. So it's nothing new for us. So you just have to go through this class 10, 11 and 12 NCRT books. This also, you don't have to study in detail, just go through class 10, 11 and 12 NCRT books, and that will be enough for this environmentals and ecology studies from this particular syllabus. Next, let's discuss about the Indian history. This is very quite interesting paper. For me personally, I really like Indian history, and we as an Indian, we should know, not only for the competitive exams, we should know the Indian history, like the how it came, and then various things or events that has been happened until the present, like we should know about it. And it's very interesting because it's kind of a true story. So you should focus in this particular topic also. And unlike the CSE, UPSC CSE examination, the questions that are being asked are here also, it's quite conceptual. It's not so difficult. So if you go through the basics of the NCRT books, you can easily attempt this particular questions. And when it comes to history, from the past 2 years, most of the questions that are being asked are usually from this modern history and Indian national movement. Hardly they ask question from medieval and ancient history. So you should, in my own opinion, I think you should focus more on this Indian national movement and the more that is the modern history, because personally for me also, I find it very difficult to understand medieval history and ancient. Somehow ancient history is easy, but for me I find it very difficult, this medieval history. So you should focus more on this modern history, the various national movements, like since the arrival of the European countries, the various trades, and then the Gandhiji era since 1893, the various movement, various revolt, and till the Indian independence. So you should focus in those particular topics, because the questions that are being asked from history are usually asked from this particular topic. So next, let's discuss about Indian polity and economics. Indian polity, most of the students, even me, find it very difficult to study this topic, because there are so much things to learn, and we as a science students, we are never exposed to this kind of articles or this bars, amendments and so on. So for us, we find it very difficult, and many people struggles. But to study this, you can use several types of mnemonics, and you can even refer to various internets and search the various mnemonics that are being used to memorize for this Indian constitutions, like the part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and also on. I memorize it with the mnemonics, like you can fly directly from US, means U for the union and its territories, C for the citizenship, you can fly is for the fundamental rights, directly is for the directive principles, and from is for the fundamental duties, and U is for the union, and S is for the states. So in that way, I memorize, which is very easy, I should say. And coming back to the economics, here what I've seen from the previous year questions, I have seen a lot of questions asked from scheme related. So there are so many schemes given up by the central governments, so you should thoroughly go through those various schemes, that whether that scheme is, be it state or central scheme, you should go through that. And one thing, you should also go through the function of that particular scheme. That can, at the same time, you can also go through the year which has been passed. And another important thing is you should also go through social economic caste census 2011. Here they have given some data, so you should go through those data because questions have been asked from this particular topic. So for political science and economics, you should go through these important topics. And finally, the last part is the current affairs. And for this current affairs, it depends on you personally. It depends on you how much you read or how much you are aware of this current situation that has been happening in India as well as around the world. So for this, you should go through every time. You should go through this newspapers, and if you don't want to go through these newspapers, then there are various booklets, monthly booklets for current affairs. You can get it anywhere, so you should go through that. And like just going through current affairs for 1-2 months, it won't work. So it's better to go through the current affairs for at least 5-6 months, so that you can get an idea. And for this current affairs also, at least 10 to 15 questions are being asked from this particular topic, so you should also focus here. And now coming back to paper 2, that is geology. Like all of us, we are geology students, so I don't have much things to say regarding this, because you can study for this prelims simultaneously along with the GSI main examination. So those are some of the topics and strategy which you should keep in mind while preparing for this geoscientist prelim examination. And before I end my video, I just want to highlight some important points which I have discussed. Firstly, focus more on those 4 topics which I've told you earlier. The first one is the general science. Second one is the current affairs, Indian geography, and environment and ecology. Those are the 4 topics which you should focus more, because maximum marks, almost 70% of the question come from this particular 4 topics. So you should focus more on this topic. But one thing you should keep in mind, that these 4 topics, all the aspirants will be good in it, because all of us, we are science students, so everyone has a strong concept in this particular 4 topics. So you shouldn't be, again, you shouldn't be overconfident in this topic as well. And secondly, while coming back to Indian history, political science, and economics, I feel like you should focus here also, because in this particular topic, the difference will be from this topic, because many science students leave this topic. So if you study hard, if you give some time in this particular 3 topics, then the marking difference will come from this topic. So you should keep in mind that. And then thirdly, for the various prelims examination, you don't have to go through in details all the modern histories, Indian politics by Lakshmikant, all those things. You better to go through the basics of the NCRT, that is class 10, 11 and 12. So I think that will be enough for this geoscientist examination. And for the current affairs, like I told you, you go through the monthly current affairs, the booklets that has been published every month. And for YouTube channels which you can search, which you can watch, is first one is the Unacademy, where you can watch or where you can learn for the marathon classes. And then another one is Study IQ, and another one is for the Amit Singh Gupta, which I really like. You can learn the basics of all the history, pol science, economics, and even current affairs also. And then another one for geology, geology concept is very good YouTube channel. And then Another YouTube channel is Let's Crack UPSC CSE exam. So this is also another important YouTube channels. You can also watch through. You don't have to watch all the details, but you go through the short videos for your convenience. And finally, I just want to share Study Smart. You don't have to waste so much time, but study smart. And there is only 2 weeks left for you guys to appear for this prelim examination. I wish each and every one of you best of luck and study hard. And next week I will be uploading the tips and strategy regarding the preparation for the main examinations. So do keep in touch, and yeah, thank you so much for your support, and I hope from this short video you will learn something from it. Thank you.